Hey insulators, we are here in Oldsmar, Florida. Aero Exterminators is one of our customers, and their brand new CM2400 had a defective agitator. Does this happen? Yes. Maybe 3 times in the total 12 years I've been selling machines this has happened. It really is not that bad of a job. It just takes a little bit of time and very few tools. As you can see here, we're not using anything that's real extravagant. There's just a normal set of tools you'll find in your toolbox. Here are a few steps on diagnosing your machine to see if it needs a new agitator. First of all, you're going to make sure that the emergency stop button is pushed out and is not engaged. Secondly, if you try running the machine and you hear that it wants to move and it stops, you just turn it off, it wants to go again, chances are you have something buried inside the airlock and jamming that from moving. So make sure that you clear all those obstructions away. If you've done that, the airlock is not moving, here's the next step. The airlock is connected underneath the control panel. The agitator motor for your machine is located down behind it, and it is very accessible once you pull the machine away from the wall. You want to test the agitator independently to make sure that the motor is working. So we're going to unplug the agitator from underneath the control panel, and now we can run an extension cord directly to this agitator. We're going to take this extension cord that's live and we're going to plug it into the agitator. If the agitator moves, great. It's not the agitator, it may be a fuse inside the box. If the agitator does not move and it makes a sound, it's the agitator. It's a bad agitator. So the very first thing you're going to do before you start working on your machine is to make sure that you unplug it from the power source. This is the location of the agitator. We have an agitator with an inline gear reducer to slow it down. So we're going to take this little panel off here so that we can get to this whole unit. When you remove the agitator, make sure that you remove it here, not here. This is the inline reducer, this whole unit here. If you remove this, all the fluid is going to leak out, and this fluid is not common fluid. You're going to have to replace it with the proper fluids. So once we have the back panel removed, we're going to come to the front again, and we are going to loosen these chains. So the next step is to relieve these tension sprockets. We do so with a 5/16 hex key. I like to use this style because if it is too tight to move, then you can use either a straight wrench to help you apply pressure, or in my case, since I have a flex head, that's not going to work well for me. I'm going to use this pipe wrench. I don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. It just moves that easily. But the pipe wrench gives me that extra leverage. What this does is this allows us then to remove the part of the chain that is connected to our agitator.
So Barry, which machines is this applicable for?
Now this setup is pretty much identical to the 3000, the 2400, 3500, 4500, etc. The smaller machines are similar, but the chains are a little different. Your agitator is going to come pre-wired, so we're going to take these ties and just snip them so that we can separate all this bundle of wires. We are removing the 2 bolts on the back side of the airlock, and then I'm going to remove 2 bolts on the front side so that we can slide the airlock out and give us really good access to this agitator. We're going to remove the agitator from the inline reducer. Again, we're only removing these bolts right here that go into the green agitator. So we're just removing these 4 bolts out of the face of this agitator. Always keep yourself a magnetic tray to keep everything organized and don't lose any of this. Slip it straight up. Now, the only thing on this that you really have to keep in mind is that this nylon gear needs to make sure that it's got the same distance from the top of the shaft here to the top of that gear. So we're going to get a measurement on that. We're going to remove this gear by removing these 2 screws, and it's got a key in here that we're going to remove. We're going to show you that here in the next step. And we're going to measure from the top of this coupling, this nylon coupling, to the very top of this shaft. Then we're going to slip this coupler right there, match up that rectangle. We're going to turn this until it matches. Then we're going to take this key, we're going to push this key down in, and now all we have to do is push this down until we get to that measurement that we took on the other side. Now this coupler has to go and match up with the gear that's on the inside of this reducer. So what I'm going to do is carefully lift it into place. I'm not going to force it, but I'm going to give a slight turn here until it seats. I didn't force it, I just waited until it seated correctly. And that's a very simple thing to fix. Just getting to it takes a little bit of time. It does give you an opportunity to really get your machine clean too. These ratcheting flex heads are really nice.
So how tight do you want that?
Yeah, just snug. We're not looking for a certain torque, we just want snug. We're going to make sure that the chains are away from this sprocket. We're going to give this a test run. Sounds good.